you clock in, you work till 11:30, you go to lunch, you better be back at 12:00 and clock back in. And I said, these guys are casual, you roll in, if you're having a stressful day, you go take off for 2 hours and nobody's saying nothing, and...
You probably know some of those guys. Like
You ready?
Andy,
Well,
yeah.
they are.
My wife actually
Started the year
may have
out
had a
right.
pretty good part in getting
Right,
him
at a township
the
meeting.
job.
That's what the
She played tennis with Jill.
okay.
That's be crazy.
So then,
That's how it works.
he had interviewed once and twice, and then the issue of his grades came up. And he told Matt, he's like, hey, I'm going to tell you straight out, I'm not that good a student. He's like, but I was head of the Young Republicans. He was the band major student. So he's like, I was very
Sorry.
active.
Hi, David.
You got my moment
He
in the
was the
sun.
gavel.
Got my moment in the sun. We'll call the meeting to order because this is the first meeting of the new year, and it's an organizational meeting. And so we'll first call roll. Mr. Mahoney?
Here.
Mr. Genowine?
Here.
Mr. Crandall?
Here.
Simcoe? Here. Rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, my moment continues.
Your moment,
For a brief.
Moment in the sun. So, we need to hold a reorganizational meeting of the Board of Trustees, and that would include having nominations and selection of a trustee, and nomination selection of a chairman and a vice chairman. And so, I would ask for nominations for chairman of the board for the year 2017. Do we have a nomination?
I'll nominate John Genowine, chairman.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any other nominations? Seeing none, we'll call the roll on the vote for John Genowine as chairman for the year 2017 of the trustees. Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
And I would then open the floor for nominations for a vice chairman of the trustees for the year 2017. Do I hear a nomination?
I'll nominate Neil Mahoney.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, do we have any other nominations? Seeing none, we'll call the roll. Mr. Mahoney?
Okay.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Well, then I will take this moment to thank the board for assisting me with this organization thing, and I will turn the gavel over to Mr. Genowine.
I think my voice is loud enough. I don't think I need that gavel. So,
When we get to the executive session, we got an ad here.
okay.
Just, one executive session, but we got 2 items of business.
Okay. Approval of the minutes for the December 20th meeting?
I'd like to table that if it's okay with you guys. I had a correction and Dave and I didn't make connections.
No problem.
Yep.
I'll bring it to the next round. It's on your desk, Dave.
Yeah,
We'll
okay.
look it over.
The trustee board appointments?
Do we
No.
set a regular schedule?
Yeah.
Meeting. No, we didn't, yeah. First and third Tuesdays, do we want to stay with that, or?
Well, I was thinking maybe this month, do you want to, because we'll be meeting,
Next week?
yeah, next week again, maybe we should go to the 4th, Tuesday, the 24th, and then we'd go to the 1st and 3rd for, I don't care, but it gives, I think it'd be a little better for the flow of
Well,
paper.
the one thing, or
Unless
do we
you
just
got-
cancel next week's meeting and wait till the 7th if we don't have anything going on? But I know you're going to the legislative breakfast on the 25th at 8 o'clock, so you're going to have to drive from here to Columbus the 24th.
I am.
So,
That's okay, but,
uh,
well, that's okay, maybe we don't,
do we have
Well,
anything
let's do-
pressing? that we couldn't skip?
Zoning, anything?
You want to skip the 17th?
And just go to the 7th, where,
It's fine with me.
Neil?
That's fine.
if anything really major goes up to us,
Yeah, okay.
Well, the only thing we had were the contributions right now, and that can wait. So that is,
so the regular meetings will be the first and third Tuesday of the month, starting February 7th. And now we need a time for those meetings.
well, we've been meeting at 5, although I think we did hear some complaints on that one rezoning.
I don't know if it makes sense on some of the larger zoning ones to push the meetings individually back till 6 o'clock to make it more accessible to people, or do we try and schedule our zoning meetings on a particular evening and then make those at 6 o'clock, whether it be the first or third?
It's not a bad idea for the big, like a big zone change or something, try to keep it at 5.
Or no, try to keep
Keep that at 6.
Keep it
Allow
at
more
5 if
people.
we've got a big zone change or something.
Yeah, we can move them.
Or we could do a 5 for the first meeting and the third, and then try to put the zonings on the second meeting of the month. I don't care.
Well, if you had a
We
time,
did have complaints on the one, remember? People said, gee, we worked till 5, and then you had your meeting at 5.
you could just leave the meetings at 5, and then if you have a zoning matter, you could put it on the agenda and advertise it for like 6. The
Yeah.
zoning hearing will be, we'll do the rest of the meeting.
Yeah.
But the
Well,
zoning
that
will be
might
at
be a good
6.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that'd be all right.
it's a thought.
I like it. I got Cub Scouts that usually follow this meeting, so 5 o'clock would probably work best for me, and but work around it on certain exceptions and things.
But we could,
So-
but you're right, if we had something,
Yeah.
we could set it for any time, we could set it for another
Yeah,
evening.
Yeah.
But we could just, maybe our thought might be 6 o'clock if we have a hearing, that's, especially if
good.
it's one that's getting some attention.
Yeah.
So let's do 5 o'clock normally.
So that the regular meetings will be 5 o'clock,
First.
and then you can always advertise zoning at 6 as a zoning
Issue.
issue.
Then we'd have our regular business out of the way. Staff would appreciate that one night was 8 o'clock or something before we got.
If there's, happens to be an election on any of the Tuesdays that we have it, we'll move it to the next.
Yeah,
I just want to put that in the record now, so.
okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
I'll move that it be, our normal meetings be the first and third Tuesday, and we'll meet at 5 o'clock unless adjusted by the administration.
And that will start February 7th.
7.
Yep.
Second?
Okay, call the roll, Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Board appointments?
I've been serving on the Joint Recreation District for 3 years, and I think that's long enough for one trustee. I think it's good to rotate the organizations. So if somebody else would like to do that, I'd like to step off of the Joint Recreation District.
Neil?
Yeah, I haven't sat on it, so I'd be more than happy to do that.
That sounds good.
For me, I've been on the Sylvania Community Services Center for a number of years, and if someone would like to do that, I'd be willing to maybe do, I don't know who's doing TEMACOG, but that might be, for me, kind of interesting, but, Neil, you're there, and John. But would anyone want to pick up Sylvania Community Services Center?
Do they meet the second Tuesday of every, second Wednesday of every month? Are they pretty consistent with that?
Yes, but it is at 5:45.
It's at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, that's not accurate, it's 5:45. I've developed a conflict, too. I mean, that's aside from the, being on it for a number of years, I'm at helping babysit my grandson
Awesome.
on Wednesdays.
That's a good
Wednesdays
reason
and
not to
Fridays.
be there.
Yeah. And so my wife said she would like that.
I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I'll do my best to make as many, I have to work late.
I make most of the meetings, but sometimes I just can't make them either, so.
Okay, so they're pretty good if.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes. I mean, would you want me to pick up, I mean, I don't have to, Neil, you may want to stick with Teamacog, I don't know how.
No, actually, I wouldn't mind changing that up, because
Do you know when they meet and that?
they meet, yeah, they do, they meet, is it 2 o'clock?
Yeah, it's about 6 times. Are you on the board there?
No,
Oh, I don't
it's like
think,
2 o'clock, so
Yeah.
it's, basically, they're,
2 to
you're gonna be hearing a lot
3:30.
of water study stuff, you know.
Okay,
And I think it's every other month.
okay, well, I'll contact them, or maybe Susan might know or something, get me, the information on it. And, But yeah, okay, great.
I've been on this DIC board, that's been pretty good, if you guys ever want to know about what fundings for projects that are coming up in the township or the county. Road work, things of that nature. It takes, they meet once a quarter.
Where's that one?
It's at the county, or actually, is there some?
That's not on the list, is it?
No, it's not.
I don't see it. Maybe you can add that, Susan, when you do the master.
DIC.
The county, it's the county CIC.
Lucas County DIC Committee, District Integrating Committee.
Well, let's go down in order so
Yeah,
I don't
sorry.
get confused.
Okay, yep, okay.
The SCAT,
I'll stay with that unless,
that's good. The community, CIC, we got Scott, Neal, really all of us are on there.
Yeah,
I guess we can keep that and anybody can attend and keep us informed. We got Neal for the Community Services Center, and then the member, I guess we don't really need that. Mr. Crandall, you'll stay there as
yeah,
a member?
that's just one meeting a year. That's
Okay.
fine.
The Enterprise Zone Negotiating Team, do they have many meetings, or?
I don't think they had any last year.
I know,
No.
Why don't we make that chair of the board? Well, no, but if you can't make it,
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
Neil, there were no meetings last year.
that sounds like a good one for me. Tax Incentive Review Council, John Zeitler and
Yeah.
Scott Smith. Are you guys willing to stay on that? The TARTA Board, Mr. Caldwell, is that
He's up.
term? Is
He's
up
up in
this September.
yeah.
Well, I think we'll probably put an ad out and try and get some people that would apply back, a little closer to his term expiring. The Lucas County EMS Board, I don't have a problem staying on with that one. With the chief, Kowalski. The 9/11 Board, again, the chief and I, if anybody wants to take it, or I can stay on it with the chief. Health District Council,
I attended one meeting. They have one annual meeting. Last year it was at Springfield.
I had been there, I will be on that one. The Lucas County Land Bank Executive Board. Neil, you have any interest in that one? I know John Zeitler's on it now, but it kind of is right up your alley as,
it's up to you, I don't, do they have meetings? You guys meet?
Yes, monthly.
Monthly?
When do they
That's
meet?
okay.
You'll do
You
it?
meet monthly, you stay, you're going, stay on top of the township.
That'd be interesting.
Simcoe, you wanna?
I'll do it, unless, but if
John will do it, but I'm just, if people want to change it up and see what's going on, I mean,
Why don't I talk to you, John, about it
Okay.
and see, and then,
we'll plug it in later.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. Township Investment Committee. Neil or John, do you have any interest in?
I haven't been on it in a few years, so.
That usually rotates.
I was last year, so Neil,
Probably my year for
if
that.
we're taking turns, it'll
Okay.
be-
Neil?
Yep.
Sylvania Area Family Services, Chief. Do one of the deputy chiefs want to step up and get involved? Do we have him here and can put direct eye pressure on them to,
That would have to go through Sylvania Area Family Services, I think.
why don't we keep you on then for the time being and then try and transition as the year goes on?
Okay, I can talk to them.
Okay. And Sylvania Community Arts Commission, I think for the first time, we're looking at putting a board member on there. Mr. Crandall ran into Dennis Boyle.
Well, they tell me that when Dennis was a trustee, he apparently went to them and wanted more involvement from township people. And I saw him at Kroger's today, so I said, Dennis, how would you like to fill that position? He said he would. He lives in the township, former trustee. I would recommend we send him Dennis.
Great.
Sounds good. We'll find some way to get a hold of him and let him know. Okay, that should wrap up that. Establish vehicle mileage rates.
Well, I think what we need on that last one is take a motion and vote to approve the recommendations you just did.
As listed or as posted? And
As listed, and we'll make the list up.
I'll move approval of the list for 2017.
Second.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
And the mileage rates for 2017, we use the IRS rate. We pass this at the reorganization meeting. It's 53.5 cents per mile.
I'll offer Resolution 17-002, establish trust, or 003, establish vehicle mileage rate for 2017 at 53.5 cents.
Second.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Do we have any additions or deletions to the agenda this
I
evening?
have none.
Anyone else? Hearing of the public? Anyone signed in? And that brings up zoning.
Good evening. I've got one item this evening. This is a zone change request for the property at 6805 Sylvania Avenue. The zone change request is from C4 Professional/Business Office to A3 Agriculture. The property is a .86 acre lot located on Sylvania Avenue, about a tenth of a mile west of McCord Road. It's between the former Advent Lutheran Church and the Farmbrook subdivision. The applicant, who is here this evening, Chapel Development, or represents Chapel Development, proposes to construct a 60-unit memory care assisted living facility on this parcel, along with a portion of the former Advent Lutheran Church to the east that is already zoned A3. The total site would be 4.6 acres. Ingress, egress will be entirely from Sylvania Avenue. The Board of Zoning Appeals approved the conditional use for a residential care facility on this site at their December 5th meeting. As mentioned, the parcel to the east is already zoned A3, so that conditional use is effective right now. This parcel, the 6805 Sylvania Avenue, the conditional use will become effective once the zone change is approved, if it is approved. The Township Land Use Plan recommends suburban residential uses for this area of the township. Both the Lucas County Plan Commission and the Sylvania Township Zoning Commission unanimously recommended approval of the zone change. And zoning staff recommends approval of the requested zone change because of it being consistent with the zoning resolution and compatible with the intent of the land use plan and not having any adverse impact upon the residential properties around it, and should be compatible with other surrounding properties as well. I can answer any questions from the board, and as I said, the applicant is here as well.
We need to also public hearing.
Do you have the site plan? Can you?
Yeah, it was just up there. Scott?
No,
can-
no, the actual site plan was basically.
I think it might be on this one. Scott, if you could keep scrolling down.
There you go. Yeah, there's something in the recommendation about, I think, maybe delaying this parking. I don't know if you're planning on doing that or not. Are you thinking of doing that, or do you feel you need that parking?
It was asked at the Lucas County Planning, can I come up here?
Yes, please.
Hi, my name's Dave Bachbreeder. I'm with the Douglas Company here in Toledo, representing the one of the partners in the development. We were at the Lucas County Planning Commission meeting where they were talking about the number of parking spaces, and it exceeds currently, the plan exceeds the minimum required by the zoning resolution of Sylvania Township by a fair number. And the question was asked whether or not we would be utilizing or needing all of those. And what ends up happening in these facilities during shift changes of the people, you end up having to have a fairly large number of spots necessary. And so we think that that represents the minimum. We would love to be able to find a way to reduce the number of parking spots because it's
Well, my only
high cost.
comment, after reading that, if you do eliminate those, I'd like you to coordinate with our fire department so they're satisfied they can turn around.
Oh, sure, we'd have to get approval from the fire department as
Yeah,
part of the
I just
building
didn't wanna
permit
see-
process.
I just didn't want to see all this eliminated. They wind up,
At this point, there is no plan on eliminating that parking
Then
spot,
there's no
and
problem.
we're
no issue.
not planning on eliminating that turnaround.
Thank you.
Do I open up a public meeting? And at this time, I would like to open up a public hearing for anybody with concerns either for or against this project. Seeing that there are none, I would like to close the public hearing at this time. And offer Resolution 17-006, zone change requested from C4 to A3 for the property located at 6805 West Sylvania Avenue.
Second,
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
yes.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay. Thanks, Darrell.
Thanks, Steve.
Congrats, good luck, guys.
Good evening. I have several items on the agenda tonight. First is Resolution 17-005 to accept roads into the township maintenance system. Lucas County engineers have recommended acceptance of the roads for Ohio Revised Code. The total is .32 miles. You can see the roads that we're adding on. These are portions to existing plats.
I'll offer Resolution 17-005, accept roads into the township maintenance system.
Second?
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Thank you. Next item is the 2016 infrastructure report and summary. Just basically, I just provide that for you. You can read it at will and ask questions if you have any at this time. There's a summary on page 3 or 4 as well to the detailed listing of infrastructure pieces, and be the next item, I believe. Yeah. It's a summary report of basically the detailed item that you saw.
Really certainly appreciate your attention to detail on this. This was a really good report and very helpful.
Thank you. If you have any questions on it, if not, move to Resolution 17-008.
Good year, Rob. You
Oh,
got a lot of
7.
work done. That's good.
Yeah, I'll offer Resolution 17-007, approve plan and advertise for bid for the 2017 OPWC resurfacing project.
Second.
I know it's a good-sized project. Oh, by the way, John, the plans are there for you to sign.
Yep.
If you
The
have-
title sheet and the plans are in the conference
Sitting
room for you
in
to
the
review.
conference room. How many miles is it in total?
It's a 1.36 miles, approximately $329,311 project. This is in the St. James Wood area. All the streets located within that subdivision.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, so Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Now, is 008 a duplicate of 5, or are there more roads we are accepting into our system?
It's an additional, I couldn't get them all on one reso without making 2 sheets, so I
Okay.
just added an additional resolution. So 008 is an additional mileage that the county has provided and the county commissioners approved and recommend we approve as well. That's an additional .84 or additional .52 miles of roadway, which is a total of .84 miles that we're adding to our maintenance system. The majority of which is in the western portion. The only piece that's not is the off of King Road, King Acres, the new road into that subdivision.
I'll offer Resolution 17-008, accept roads into township maintenance system.
Second.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Next up is the fire department. Do you have any questions for the chief? And chief, do you have any comments? Anything for the chief?
No.
And then police department? Chief, do you have anything? Anything for the chief?
Okay.
Next up is the resolution I have, 17004, intend to sell property by internet auction. Right now, we're not selling anything, but this resolution allows us to use the vendor gov deals, which we've been using successfully for a number of years. So this would authorize us to use gov deals whenever we have surplus equipment to sell on the internet.
Do we have a link to Gov Deals on our website that takes them to our stuff locally?
I think the property room might on the police department, I'm not sure. But we can make sure that the new website's gonna be done at the end of the month, so I'll
Okay.
make sure that's on there.
It might be a good idea. I mean, the person who's going to buy something is probably going to be
Right.
close to here, so.
Right.
Okay. I'll offer Resolution 17-004, intent to sell property by internet auction Gov Deals.
Second.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. Simcoe, anything?
Guess I had my chance earlier. That's it. I only get one chance. That's it. So no, I have nothing.
Open discussion. Mr. Crandall, I wasn't able to attend, but I heard good things about your update at the chamber meeting, so thanks for representing the
That
township.
person probably wasn't there.
Either that or hard of hearing.
And
I'm
a
not sure.
rumor, yeah, hard of hearing.
Hearing of the public?
Nobody signed it.
All right, then, at 5:28, I would like to offer a motion to go into executive session to prepare for, conduct, or review negotiations or bargaining sessions with public employees concerning their compensation or other terms and conditions of their employment as authorized by the Ohio Revised Code. Also, to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of public employee or official, or the investigation of charges or complaints against a public employee or official as authorized by Ohio Revised Code.
Second.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
A lot of jargon in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
My son's been in the hospital.
We're all going here.
Ulcerative colitis.
Oh, my gosh.
Your son?
They can't figure it out. Yeah, gotta get a, it's awful.
Your younger son?
21-year-old.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty young for an
Yeah.
too young.
I'd like to offer a motion to come out of executive session at 6:28.
second. Aye.
Call the roll. Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes. I'll move to adjourn.
Wait, I'd like to offer Resolution 17-010, terminate employment of James Thompson.
Second.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
I would like to offer a motion to adjourn at 6:29.
Second.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
See you February
He just got out yesterday.